This time last year, my wife and I embarked on an overland journey across the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. This year, we knew we wanted to do it again. By the time we dropped the kids off at Grandma and Grandpa's, finished loading the truck, and hit the road, we knew that we were already behind schedule. We decided to find a campsite in southern Ohio and do the rest of the drive tomorrow. Once we got into camp, Hannah got her kitchen set up and began to prepare our first camp dinner. Tonight we'll be having diced and sauteed potatoes, along with a pork chop we picked up from the local grocery store. I'd say it's a fitting meal to kick this trip off with. After dinner, we relaxed by the fire and watched the sun go down. But honestly, we were in bed pretty early. We kicked off day 2 pretty early. As great as this campsite was, it really wasn't what we were traveling for, and we knew that we were going to have a full day ahead of us to get to where we needed to be. I got to work setting up for coffee and breakfast, and Hannah took over shortly after. In our haste to get out of the house and make it to camp before darkness set in, some things got loaded into the truck in a less than organized fashion. We spent a little bit of time this morning organizing, and by the end of the trip, we found just about everything.
I'm just going through figuring out our plans for today. We ended up cutting the first part of the trip in half. It was going to be an 8-hour day, and we didn't get off. I think it was almost like 3 o'clock before we hit the road. So we went halfway today, gave up our first campsite down in the Smokies, but I wasn't too worried about that. This is a much better campsite. So we're gonna get down there and make it to the Round Mountain campground area. I think that's closed, but there's a bunch of dispersed camping, people were saying, in that area. So we'll do that and do the first, it's hard to tell exactly, it's about 40 miles as the crow flies from the trailhead that we're starting at to that campsite. So between 40 and 200 miles, I'm sure, on the trail today. Hopefully less than that. Hannah's cooking breakfast behind me. Get some nice coffee here. Not a bad spot. Looks like it's going to take about 5 hours to get there from here, so we're going to get packed up shortly and hit the road, hopefully.
If you watch closely, you'll start picking up on a recurring theme throughout this trip: moisture.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto US 23, Truck Winchester Avenue. Welcome to Kentucky.
We stopped at this nice little roadside park. Made some PB&J sandwiches. Pretty decent view.
Over the past year, I've become obsessed with photography. I decided on this trip that I was going to start experimenting with time-lapse videos. Enjoy!
Ever since we got this truck, we've been having issues with oil consumption. It's been to GM, I don't know, a ton of times. They've checked it. It's been never enough that they can ever do anything, but it's always been a little bit more than what it's supposed to be. So they just top it off and send us on our way. So we I just ran into AutoZone to grab some extra oil. I checked it, it's at the lower end of the dipstick, so I'm gonna add some tonight. But we should be okay. I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be all right as we get off on a trail where no one else can come get us. After months and months of planning, 514 miles, 2 days of travel, a handful of wrong turns, we're officially on the Smoky Mountain 1000. Look how technical this trail is.
As we began winding our way through the Smoky Mountain 1000 trail, I started to get disappointed that it was just a blacktop road. As I started to appreciate the beauty all around us, I remembered the reason why I built this truck to begin with. I built this truck to be capable enough to take us anywhere we wanted to go and see anything we wanted to see. I didn't build this truck so that every trail we went on had to be the most technical out there. I've watched videos of people clearing a trail through what looks like an overgrown forest. I'm not even really convinced there was even a trail there. And they look to be having a blast. That's just not the kind of trip that I want to go on. It's so easy to get consumed with the next upgrade or the latest gear that you have to have. My goal on this trip quickly became just be present and enjoy the beauty that's all around us. Pretty much since we got onto the Smoky Mountain 1000 route this afternoon, we had very little or no cell phone service. We knew there was a chance of rain tonight. That chance became very apparent when we rounded one large corner. At this point, we'd been driving for over 8 hours. We'd gotten a little bit of cell phone service, looked up the weather. It didn't look good. We were still 20 to 30 minutes from our planned campsite, but it was quickly becoming apparent that probably wasn't going to be a viable option.
Close to us, I don't know. Like, it's through this next town.
Okay.
Can I take this GPS?
It doesn't look... Yeah, you can copy the coordinates off of there.
Come on, bitch.
Because, I mean, like, right here, there's not really anything good. Like, we're just kind of on this, like, main road. There's not a lot of good places.
It's not giving me the ability to copy it.
Say copy coordinates.
It says, well, here we go. Maps.
So we have no service to do this.
This is saying 28 minutes to it.
Okay. Oh, there's some lightning. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't necessarily want to... That might be a spot. I kind of want to get off this road, too. I'll be sleeping
Off
on
this road?
I don't want to be just, like,
Yeah, I
sleeping
don't
on the
wanna
side
be-
of this road. Looks like we're coming up to the mountain.
Yep.
Okay.
All the hot springs.
Okay.
We need to stop in town to
Figure out a game plan.
yeah.
Okay. Let's go to this ranger station,
Okay.
and we'll go there. We'll make a plan from there.
There is a camera in
Okay, let's go there.
town. That was like 28 minutes from here.
Do you want
No, I was just trying to find something.
other picture? No, there's one picture. Where are we? And that's not too far up. I mean, it's 20 minutes, I guess, but you want to try to push to that?
Not really.
No.
I don't.
I'm just not sure what there is between here and there. I mean, we could just...
Nothing. I think this is going to be it for a collection of things close by.
Well, but I'm not really sure where we're going to stay here, though, either. Where was that little campground that we saw? Was that on the other side of the river? Oh, it was right here. And that's just like a little campground here. I mean, we could try that.
Is it open?
I have no idea.
Well, does it, like, can you pull up information?
No, there's not even anything on it. There's a plumbing place there.
Oh, is it like an actual business?
I have no idea. Facebook. Some of the places I've seen only had like a Facebook page.
Well, they still have like a location on maps.
Not on here, they don't. Let's just drive over and look.
At this point, we're exhausted from a full day of travel, hungry, borderline hangry, and really just needed to find a place to stay for the night. But we're optimistic since we found what appears to be a fairly vibrant small town.
Check in at the spa across the road. Where? There?
The spa's back there.
Okay. Man, that does not sound like the fun camping weather. Okay. Where was the spa? That one?
Yeah, it's that big
Okay.
sign.
Let's go over there. See what we can do.
I'll save you the frustration. Everything in town either had a 2-night minimum or wasn't open for the season yet. We checked many Airbnbs and motels. It just looks like their season doesn't start for another couple of weeks. After lots of driving in circles, Googling, and frustration, we found a place that looked promising. We gave them a call and they had a room available. They were just on the outskirts of town, so we headed straight there. We headed up to check out the room and drop off our bags before heading back down to town in search of dinner. After a very long day in the truck, it was nice to be stationary and enjoying a delicious meal with a beautiful girl.
Well, we made it to where we're staying for the night. I underestimated how long it was going to take to get through some of these mountain roads, and definitely took us a lot longer to get here than I thought it was going to. We had almost like over 10, probably 10 to 12 hours in the car today, in the truck, and that was just not what we were expecting. It was almost exclusively paved roads. I think we got off, well, it was actually about a mile on a dirt road, and that was because we took a wrong turn. It wasn't even where we were supposed to be. So I was really excited when we did that because there were some cool campsites on top of this ridge. But yeah, we're still we didn't even make it to where we were planning on spending the night tonight. So we're gonna have to redo our schedule a little bit. But as we were getting closer, we could see the clouds start. We knew there was a chance of rain, but just big, puffy, somebody knows the name of the clouds, but the thunderstorm clouds. We could see them forming off in the distance, and the closer we got to where we were going, the darker the clouds got. And we were probably about 10 minutes outside of this town, and it started raining, and then it started raining harder and harder, and then we started seeing lightning, and we knew there was one wave coming through and an even bigger wave behind it. So we decided to pull off here, get a nice room for the night, not have to worry about camping in a thunderstorm. It was a bunch of red on the map as we were doing it, as we were looking at the radar. So looks like a pretty cool place. Just had dinner downtown. It's right off the Appalachian Trail, so there's a lot of hikers and that kind of stuff through here. But it's a good night. I'm just sitting out here watching the lightning off in the distance, and I guess I'm pretty glad I'm not in a rooftop tent tonight.
As night set in, the next round of storms we saw on the radar was close behind. As I watched the rain in the streetlight, the lightning above the mountains, I was very glad we were in a solid structure tonight. After attempting to photograph the lightning, I decided to walk around, check out the lodge for a little bit. This property dates back to the late 1800s. In 1954, it was sold to the Jesuits, and they turned it into a ministry center. Their ministry and involvement in the area lasted for over 50 years. The property was then purchased by a trust set up for a woman who had experienced a brain injury. The name Laughing Heart Lodge was decided by her, and she said that it makes her heart feel good to know that she's helping people. It was time for a nightcap and to back up all the footage from the past couple of days. Then we're off to bed because tomorrow would potentially be our favorite day of the entire trip. We were going whitewater rafting.